Okay, a second thing we're going to do. We're going to concentrate on the left hand with some exercises. I got 20 exercises prepared for you, so it's going to be a lot. You have the time to repeat and repeat again. Since it's a DVD, of course. So I'm going to go through that in a slow pace, and then I'm going to speed it up. I'm not going to repeat it 7 or 8 times. You can do that with your own remote controls. So, an important thing on your left hand is you have muscles in your hand, but your third and your fourth finger, they grow together in your hand. So you have to be, it's very difficult to get these two fingers moving like this. It's very difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on exercises that are beneficial for your hands. I'm thinking about a lot of different kind of things, but the thing I'm mainly thinking about is we're doing it in a six note sequence. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play it slowly first. We need, we're basically going to stay in A minor. It's important. I can go to a lot of different scales, but I think if you stay in A minor, it's going to be a lot easier. So you don't have to think about notes for the first time. It's just techniques and things to warm up your hands and get shapes in your head. So don't think about notes for this time. We have 3 fingers every time. First one, the third one, and the fourth one will be this first exercise. We have this, and we go on the thinnest string. Same thing as a legato exercise, so I'm not going to use my right hand, just only to mute the strings, and the rest is going to be the left hand that's going to be working. So we can use this hand afterwards for doing a lot of different kind of things. The exercise I'm doing is a 6 note sequence, so it goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Now if I speed that up, I go to this. See, this is just something I do a lot, and that's why it goes up to this tempo. The same thing in the next shape, we have these 3 fingers. We have 1, 2, and 4. It's the same thing, it's just one different part of the neck being in the same scale. So we have like this. Just the same thing. See, the difference is now we're using this finger instead of this finger. Now the third shape, when we were talking about the shapes I was explaining you earlier, there's only one shape more, basically for the exercises we're going to do. And that's the shape with 1 fret in between and 1 fret in between. So we do the same thing, the same exercise, which is just a little bit bigger in distance for the fingers. It goes just the same. The next thing we're going to be talking about is the same thing. It's a legato exercise, but the difficult thing, once you get it done, it's really a very nice exercise to be doing. It's very fluently playing. That's actually what legato stands for. It's like a fluid line of notes, not staccato, but just fluently. Is slurring techniques. So let me demonstrate you that with an exercise, which I'll be just playing for fun, and then do some exercise on that. For instance, if we go... See, with my right hand, I'm not doing anything. Just the same thing, the muting thing. I'm not even hitting strings when I go back from a thinner string to a thicker string. I'm not even hitting those strings. It's just my left hand that's doing the hammer-ons and the pull-offs. Now, to be doing that, we need to concentrate on very little steps, which we start like with this exercise number 1, which goes like this. So what I'm doing is I'm playing in 5 note sequence. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I slide up with my first finger. 5 notes again, and I slide back. It's just the same shapes as we were playing before. So there's no difference. So we go like this, very slowly. If I speed that up, I go. You see? So let me do that again. Same thing. Now, the second thing, because we need like different shapes, the second exercise on this is the same thing. It's just moving up another step of the scale, which makes this shape go into this shape. And before, we had this shape going into this shape. So this one is more difficult because you're changing fingers. See? The next one we're going to do now is just the same thing, the same fingerings, but there's a little space coming here which isn't here. So it goes like this slowly. Fast. Like that. So the next exercise we have is a two-string exercise, which makes it a little more difficult because you're jumping on strings. And we're going to go for a little different scale as well. We're going to change the F, which is here, into an F sharp. So we go to G major instead of C major. What we're going to do is 2 strings, 3 notes, so 6 notes in total. 6 notes, we're going to go 6 notes, we're going to go 6 notes. Let me demonstrate you what I'm explaining. What I'm doing with my right hand is just touching. Every time when I change a string, I'm going to touch the string. That's the only thing I'm doing. The rest is the muting thing again. So never leave off this hand. Just always keep it there, just in case your guitar starts ringing or singing. You're in control with this hand. So what do? We have first shape, second shape, and third shape. That's basically the exercise. And then we go back, and then we go back. Another thing about these exercises, it's important you play them a long time. I mean a long time, not do like 10 seconds or something. Keep it rolling like a 2-minute or 3 or 5 minute exercise. So it's really in here when you're working. Let me demonstrate you that. Slowly. See, from my right hand, it's really an easy thing, which means what we're going to do next is I got 3 fingers more to add some juice. But that will be like in the very near future. Now let's speed up a little bit. Next exercise we're going to do is a longer exercise, and we're going to focus on the 2 middle strings, the D string and the G string. Still legato playing, so your right hand is just doing the same thing as always. He's on vacation. He's doing the muting thing. Fiesta. Now what we have here, we start on the G string, and we have so what I'm doing here, I'm starting with my pinky, which is the difficult finger, the one without the muscles. And then I'm sliding back with my first finger to the 4th position. So I'm starting here. At this point I'm going to slide. Then I'm going to hammer on with my pinky on my D string. And at this point I'm going to slide again with my first finger from the 4th to the 5th position. That will be the whole exercise, so let me do that very slowly in total. It goes like this. Speed that up a little. See, this point, when I'm starting the exercise again, that's when my right hand is touching the other string. So let me do that again, a few times faster. See? Let me do that a little bit faster, just for fun. Now, number 5 is a 4-string exercise. So we started 1 string, we went 2 strings, we went to 2 middle strings. Now we're going to go for 4 strings, which is going to be a little more difficult because your right hand finally has something to do. You just got to go from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. That's the only thing. Now the sequence we're going to play is a shape for your left hand, excuse me, which is going to be always the same shape. We're going to start at this note. Then for the G string, we're going to go here. For the B string, will be there, and for the E string will be there. So we change 2, 4, 5, 7. The shape we're doing in between is always the same shape. Starts off like this. So the shape I'm playing with the slide in it. Same thing in the 4th position here. I'm switching with my first finger. I go through this shape. Then on the B string, just the same thing, starting on the 5th fret. Slide. And then on the E string, just the same thing, starting on the 7th position. That's the exercise in total. When I'm thinking about music and I have a thing that I like, that I'm playing and I'm feeling like this is a great thing that I'm doing, I always try to do it in octaves. What is an octave is like a distance of 8 notes. For instance, what I'm doing here is the same thing. This thing is the same thing as here. It's just 1 octave away from each other. Here is the same thing. So octaves and things like that. What is a 6? What is a 7? What is an octave? Also very important. We get into that later. So let me do this exercise slowly and then I speed it up. Once again slow. Watch the right hand also. If I speed that up, it's just 8 notes that I'm playing every time. My right hand is just doing the tick, 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 tick. So eventually when I'm playing this exercise really fast, I'm not thinking I'm doing 8 notes. I'm thinking my right hand is giving me the rhythms that I need. It goes like tuck, 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 tuck. Whatever kind of music sequence you're on, if it's in a 3/4 or 6/4 or whatever, your right hand, and you're playing really fast, your right hand is the hand that gives you your time indication. Because you cannot think fast as I'm playing. I cannot say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and the times when I'm playing it. So you got to find another way, which is 8, 8, 8, 8 is 32, and for here it's just 4. So it's easy to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a lot easier than until 32 and you get messed up anyway. So, once again, a lot of fun. Well, this next exercise is something in a 5-note sequence, which is going to be on 1 string again, but it's going to be more like moving across the neck of the guitar. It's not going to be in one position. The last exercise we did was already changing from positions. Now we're going to really change on 1 string. We're going to stay on 1 string. We're going to use the whole fretboard of the guitar. Once again, right hand doesn't do anything. Left hand is the one who's working. And we're going through this kind of way. All the positions like we were doing in the beginning, the scales, we're just going to use all these positions and we're going to go through it like this. We start here. See, that's the main idea. Now we go to the next shape. Then the next shape. Then the next shape. And we'll just end there. So we have this. Very slowly, in total, we have this. Let me do that again, a little faster. See, my right hand isn't doing anything. A little faster. Once you get a 5-note sequence, speed it up, it sounds natural. See, when I'm doing this, it doesn't sound like it's 5, it's just a natural thing going on. Okay, now this next exercise is a little difference on that. It's going to be an exercise on 2 strings, and it goes like this. Very slowly. Same thing, but now we're sliding with our pinky, which is this difficult finger. So, see, once again slowly. Speeding up again. See the right hand doing the same thing? I'm hitting my string when I'm starting. I'm hitting when I'm going to the thinner string. And the rest is the left hand. See? Okay. This next exercise is a three-string exercise. It's getting out of the scale a little bit. It's going to be sounding a lot more interesting because there's some notes that are really sounding a little bit weird if you hear them for the first time, but in the end you sound just very natural. It's a flat 5. I'm going to add to that. Why? Because I can use my left hand 3 times on 3 strings the same shape, which is easier for me to play. And the beneficial thing about it is I get an extra note which is sounding a little awkward, a little out, that comes in naturally again. So what am I doing? I'm playing this. Starting on the G string, 5, 7, 8. I'm playing on the B string, 5, 7, 8. And I'm playing on the E string, 5, 7, 8. And then I go back. So that's basically the exercise. Very slowly, my right hand now has to change strings every time. G string, B string, A string. Goes back, G string, B string, E string. And the muting thing is still going on. So we have this. Same thing if you speed it up, sounds natural. If you start thinking, in what times am I playing this exercise? If you would be thinking it in 3, I could go like 1, 2, 3, all ways to go like. That would be in 3. If I do the same exercise, I think in 4, it goes like this. You can go in 5 and 6s, whatever, we'll do that later.